News Phoenix Bureau, I'm Tim Berg.
USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight ticket.
Good morning, everybody.
Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want.
We got a lot of stuff going on. Local events. We got a blood drive in Halifax that I want to get out to people because that's important right now. Giving blood, very important right now. Construction updates.
Now that the Republican Party has essentially
A little update on local MBTA stuff. There's changes going on again.
It appears the Senate will soon be an even more contentious place, with seats now split at 50-50, and Vice President-elect
Which people should know about.
And control for the Democrats. Former Senate Majority
other interesting things
the Senate is a difficult
as well.
place to run
A
normally.
lot of great things.
Right down the middle. The Mississippi Republican tells Fox News that he was able to get.
I have so much that I saved up for this week. I'm not going to get to all of it.
Having a friend that was the Democratic leader, Tom Daschle. I respected him and I trusted him, and I called him and said, we got to try to work this out. So we sat down. It did take some time to get it done. Not everybody in our conferences agreed with what we did. But basically, we set it up where it was going to be equally divided. The committee memberships, the funds, the ratios, how you deal with a tie vote. You could take to the floor of the Senate and a tie vote. Either Tom Daschle or I, either one of us could do it. So,
Morning, Scott.
Now, I'm not sure the atmosphere in Washington right now, how many people really want to get the right things done.
From the USA Radio News Ohio Bureau, I'm Dan Naraki.
The Bills, the Rams, and the Buccaneers all advanced in Saturday's National Football League wildcard games. 3 games are slated for Sunday. Ravens at the Titans, Bears at the Saints, and Browns at the Steelers. For USA Radio News, I'm Lance Pry.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVVF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guest. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro News, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning, and welcome to Middleboro in Review for January 10th, 2021, the second week of 2021, the second Sunday of 2021. Let's say good morning to Don.
Good morning, Joe.
How are you today, Don?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Still a little dark out there, but I'm noticing in the evenings that it's getting light a little bit. We're starting to get some of that daylight.
Yep.
And light a little longer now. I notice it because I'm out delivering oil, and you know, you want as much daylight as possible to do the job. So I notice it's like 4:45 or almost 5 before it's totally pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we gained like maybe 15-20 minutes as far as that. So we're getting. Doesn't seem like we're getting on the morning ends yet. But I think we will. It's February. You'll notice it big time in February. So we'll see what happens. We're 10 days into January. So
we're not too far into January yet, but we're getting there.
You do notice it,
yeah.
And that helps morale because February is usually a tough, cold month.
Yeah.
But if you got more daylight than nighttime, it helps. It helps in the psyche, I think.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree. All right, 30 degrees currently in Middleboro. So it is cold out there, very, very cold, but not as cold as past mornings. So it's a little bit warmer out there. 30 degrees, 42 for the high today with a low of 20, 44 tomorrow, and 45 on Tuesday. So we're going to be in the mid-40s for the next couple of days. In Taunton, 29 degrees currently with the same weather as Middleboro. the next couple of days. In Driscoll, Texas, currently 56 with a high of 59 for today, 36 for the low. So it is kind of cold today. It is currently raining right now and windy over there. And in Driscoll, North Dakota, currently 20 degrees with a high of just 36. So it is struggling to get past 32. But it will warm up again midweek, mid-40s during the midweek in Driscoll, North Dakota. All right, real quick, get sports out of the way because there was a lot of sports yesterday. Wild card round. Actually, it's now called the Super Wild Card round because there are 2 new teams that will be joining the NFL playoffs going forward. So now it's 14 that will be playing for a Super Bowl every single year. And the first 3 advanced. And these are the first 3 that advanced. The Bills, after beating the Colts in a really great game, 27-24. The upset of the 3 was the Rams versus the Seahawks. The Rams were a little beat up, but they managed to beat the Seahawks, which surprised me and probably surprised a lot of other people. And also another surprise, or somewhat of a surprise, is the Buccaneers barely beating the Washington football team. Washington did a really good job keeping pace with Tampa, but Tampa in the end was a little bit too much for Washington. So Washington goes down, but they go down fighting, and they had a great season. Finished 7-10. They had a really great season, and I can't wait to see what they do in the future. All right, the Celtics moved to 7-3 after winning the other day. Tonight they take on the Miami Heat, so it is another important matchup for them. We'll see what happens in that matchup tonight. Will they move to 8-3? We'll see. And the Bruins, finally rounding it all out. The Bruins open up their season with a doubleheader on Thursday and Saturday against the New Jersey Devils, who have had some interesting things happen with some of their players this week. One of their players, who they got in the offseason, did retire. So they're going through some struggles right now with players. But Bruins will take on the Devils Thursday and on Saturday. All right, 7:13 a.m. What do we have planned for today's program? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about construction updates that are going on around in Middleboro. There's a new bank being built. We're going to give some updates on that because a lot has happened with that building. We're also going to talk about a blood drive that's coming up in Halifax next month. We're going to mention that. We also have some commuter rail changes, some commuter rail schedule changes as well to talk about, and also talk about a little bit things going on in Middleboro as well. Dog licensing, I want to talk about that, and there's a lot of other good things as well going on. All right, so 7:15 a.m. Let's take our commercial break now, and when we return, we'll talk all about what we have planned for the show today and what we we'll be talking about. All right. You're listening to Middleboro in Review, 1530 AM, 99.7 FM, Middleboro in Review, WVBF. You're listening to us also on TuneIn as well. Just search up WVBF, and you will find us. Also, we have a YouTube channel, Middleboro in Review, all lowercase, and also a Facebook page, which is also Middleboro in Review, all lowercase. You'll be able to find us that way. That's not the name of the Facebook group, but if you just search up Middleboro in Review, you'll be able to find us. Anyway, so we will be right back, and you are listening to the January 10th edition of Middleboro in Review 2021. We'll be right back. All right, good. All right. Good morning, Paul. Paul Lazarovich from Cranberry Country Journal tuning in.
Good morning, Paul.
Hi, this is Jim Larkin. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WVBF, The Sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary, and sometimes some live singers in the studio. And to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WVBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508
We should thank
583
Spark the Auto Body for signing back up at some point, Joey.
Yep, will do.
Get back under that
Hi, this is Ray Brown, inviting you to tune in to Talkin' Birds, a show about wild birds, birding, and conservation, right here on WVBF, broadcasting from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green. Join us for informative interviews and fun information about birds and birding. It's Talkin' Birds, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9, here on WVBF, AM 1530 and 99.7 FM.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our main source of aid to families in these communities is the food pantry. Open twice weekly on Wednesday and Saturday, clients can visit the pantry once a month and shop for their groceries. The pantry is open to everyone during the pandemic. Anyone affected by the COVID-19 crisis is welcome to register as a client with no income thresholds. To register by phone, just call 508-947-1717 and leave a message by selecting option 1. Your call will be returned by a volunteer who will add you to our list of clients. For the homebound or others who are self-quarantined, we will shop for you and deliver the groceries directly to your door. throughout the crisis.
And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. January 10th, 2021. And let's talk a little bit about dog licensing. That's now coming up. The dog licensing period has begun. It began on the 1st of January. And dog licenses will become available in December, so they're already available. The town clerk's office. So if you go down to the town clerk's office in Middleboro, you'll be able to get the dog licenses and sign up for it. The registration period is January 1st to March 31st. And items to bring with you is a copy of a valid rabies certificate and certificate of spraying and neutering. A fee of $15 per dog if your dog has not been sprayed. A fee of $10 for a dog that has been sprayed. A reminder to license your dog has been included as an insert dog licensing worksheet with the mailing of the 2021 town census form. Residents may complete the form and submit payment through the mail or by stopping by the town clerk's office, 20 Center Street, 1st floor, Town Hall Annex, Bank Building, Middleboro, MA 02346. Stop by Monday through Friday from 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. or purchase the dog licenses online. As a reminder, all dogs must be registered by March the 31st. Dog licensed April 1st or April 30th will be assessed a late fee of $10. Dog licenses not renewed by May 1st are subject to a $50 fine. The late fees shall be in addition to the license fee referred above. So, if you haven't licensed your dog, please do it. Please do it. That's important. They will fine you if you do not. So, please, if you haven't already, license your dog. Go down to the Town Hall Annex Bank Building on 20 Center Street and license your dog. All right. We have a blood drive to talk about. A Red Cross blood drive will take place at the Halifax Town Hall, and that will be taking place on Friday, February the 19th, 2021, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Due to the need for blood donations and because the town's previous blood drives in 2020 have gone so well, the town of Halifax is sponsoring an additional Red Cross blood drive in the Great Hall of the Halifax Town Hall at 499 Plymouth Street, Halifax 02338 on Friday, February 19th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Because of the season and the pandemic, the Red Cross has an urgent need for blood. Anyone interested in participating can visit redcrossblood.org and type in 02338 and you will find the blood drive and make an appointment for a convenient time on that day. Again, Friday, February 19th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Very important. If you're able to give blood, please do it because it's much needed right now because of the pandemic. Don, do you have any thoughts on this?
You said the 2020 drives were successful?
Very successful, yes.
Well, that goes to show. It's good that people are going out. They're not letting this virus scare them to do the right thing. They're not, that's good to know that, people who need blood and people need that. They'll come out there's personal risk involved. I know, going out, whatever. But I'm sure, like, since all this has started, cautions have been taken. Everyone's wearing a mask and people are social distancing. And I think that's something you got to see even when this pandemic's over. A lot of people are going to be social distancing anyway. People aren't going to be so close to get close to people. And in the future, that will, I think, help avoid, the regular flu and other ailments too. I think.
Yep.
So you learn from everything in life. I think so. We learn a lot from this, and we hopefully come out stronger because of it. But it's good that they're still doing that, and the 2020 was successful. So I'll just keep mentioning it. You said what, February what?
February 19th.
So that's what, a few more shows, right?
Yep.
You could talk
And
about,
there's
at least
also
4 more shows you could talk about it, right?
Yep. There's also one in Middleboro, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I'd keep pushing it. I just try to remember to tell every week while you on your broadcast.
Yeah.
Try to mention it just so people don't forget. It's a little, it's early, but it's good that people know.
Yes.
And then that's something that
same thing with the dog licenses too.
Yeah.
It's important people know that too.
Right, but I mean, I think giving blood a little bit more.
And blood a lot more than the dog licenses.
I mean, you do have to take
the next
dog
couple of
license.
weeks, we're going to be the things we're talking about today will be mentioned again and again.
Well, the rabies and the spay and neuter is important too.
Yes, but blood is extremely important right now.
Extremely important. So
And so we're going to be mentioning it every week.
Yeah,
until the 19th.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just you fall right into place. I mean, with the you've been talking about the food pantry since March, and now you got 2 ads, pretty much. And you play the 2 ads on your show, and don't they play a couple ads on some other shows?
Yeah.
During the week. So I mean, they got their foot in the door pretty much. So that's good to know that anybody listening to this show and maybe a few other shows. I'm not sure what shows play those ads. You probably know better than I would, but it's good to know that the word's getting out.
And I know that there's another blood drive. There's a blood drive in Middleboro as well. I believe it's on the 16th of February. I'll get that information up too because I have it up. I have the Red Cross website. You can look it up really quickly.
I think that would be ideal, Joe, because
I'll definitely try to mention it before the end of the show.
I mean, it only takes 2 seconds to mention it, so I mean, the more information you have in front of you on your sheet, the better for the listening. Maybe anybody listening. So that's great. Yeah, good job on that one. I think, in my opinion.
Thank you. Okay, curbside Christmas tree pickup. The Middleboro DPW has been offering free curbside pickup since January the 4th, and that will be ending this coming Friday. So you still have time to get your Christmas trees picked up, getting rid of the Christmas trees. They will be able to pick them up for you until this upcoming Friday. So that's important to mention if anyone needs help with disposing of Christmas trees. The DPW is doing that until this upcoming Friday. And while we're on the topic of the blood drives, I have one coming. We have one coming up in Middleboro that I want to mention. Here, and it's on the 16th of February. And while we get that up, Don, how was your week?
Not bad. Pretty good week. It's a little colder, so the customers are taking a little bit more oil. So, I mean, snow's melted. We haven't had another storm, so the driveways are clear and it's not as icy, and everything's pretty much the danger of having a problem with a icy driveway with a truck, or even my footing has gone away because of the ice. So I'm just, I thank my lucky stars for that. But we'll see what happens. So just gotta keep plugging away. You just gotta keep going. Every day you don't have snow and ice on the ground, you don't have to deal with backing up driveways, and it just slows you down. You just need to get the oil to the people. They need it. It's very important. They can't live without it. So it's important when things are clear that you can move right along. There's a saying, when it's dry, you fly. Because once it snows, especially the route I do down in Duxbury, Pembroke, Hanson, Halifax, down that way, is a lot of, I'd say about 60% of the driveways you got to back in. All those houses are far, far away from the street, so you got to deal with driveways and ice. Some people are pretty good about keeping them clear, but they only do so much. It's just what you got to do. It's part of the process. Feel better when I don't have to deal with ice and snow.
Yeah.
And the driving aspect, it's good when you can get through a day where you have no issue. So we'll see. I actually am working today. After the show, I got 28 stops to do, and Hingham and Situate and Cohasset, because I have some eye exams I got to do tomorrow. So I told my boss I'll do my Monday's work today. That's what you need to do. You can't tell me. He asked me, "Oh, you want to work Sunday?" I said, "Of course I do. I definitely want to work Sunday. I want to stay ahead. Don't want to be behind, because once you get behind, 2015 was the nightmare scenario. It was the perfect storm.
Yes, yeah.
As far as every oil company had that problem, they just couldn't move fast enough. If you normally do 35 stops in a day or 30 stops in a day, that's a 10-hour day. Those same 35 stops were taking forever, way over 10 hours, because of the logistics. People understand logistics. During snowstorms, people go out, whatever. I guess they gotta go to work, but I feel if you got 10 feet of snow on the ground and it's snowing, maybe stay home. Maybe it's not a day to go shopping or something. I don't know. Keep the roads clear. It's really important because there's people out there who need the roads to deliver life essentials.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Period. And you just, everything you do as far as trying to get through is a challenge. So, like I said, no snow on the ground. Thank my lucky stars. We're caught up. We're not behind. So that's my week in a nutshell, sir.
Hopefully it stays this way.
Well, yeah,
but it's January in New England.
Anything can happen.
So anything can happen. Hopefully it stays this way for a little bit longer.
Well, if you get snow, that's fine. But if it needs to melt.
Because this kind of weather, it's cooperating, which means construction can go ahead. We're going to give an update on the new bank building in Middleboro that is going ahead. The construction is doing really well right now for that building, and there's been a lot of progress. So,
yeah,
as long as the weather is cooperating,
right,
that can continue.
Right.
So
it's just when it snows, it's just hard on everybody. I mean, it's pretty, it's nice to look at it, and I understand people who plow snow depend on that, and I understand that, but no one else likes it. Or maybe just the snow guys, the plow guys, and the ski resorts. But they can make their own snow up north. You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper for them if it snows. They don't have to run the guns, and they don't have to spend the money on the water and the electricity to run the pumps and stuff. I understand that. But everyone else who has to deal with, you got the elderly trying to maneuver around. You got a lot. How many older people slip and fall? And then they're in a situation because of the ice. It's really a dangerous time. Ice and snow everywhere, accidents. It's better. We do live in the Northeast, and it's expected. But it's nice when if it comes, it melts. In 2015, it didn't melt.
Yeah,
it didn't melt. It was so cold, and it just kept snowing and snowing. Anybody remembers that crazy year? Knows how difficult it was just to move around.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. There was people who one guy asked me to run the oil hose through his window to get to the back, and I said, "No, I can't do that." I said, "What are you nuts?" I said, "No way." I said, "If that hose ever exploded, we'd be done. All right, we'd be done. Oh no, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't do you. Of course you would. I mean, I'm not saying the hose is going to break. They're all brand new hoses or whatever. All the equipment's up to spa. That's fine, but that's just the guy. I backed up the driveway, and I couldn't get up the driveway any further because of ice. I ran the hose 150 feet, just didn't make it. It was out back. And then the guys, well, you just run it through the window. Went through. You wanted to run the hose through my living room. I couldn't do it. I said, the best thing for you to do is maybe go get some diesel fuel and put it in, whatever. So, but our service techs took care of him. They came up and they brought him some jugs. So our company's good like that. We had a couple other ones with hills where the owner of the company showed up in his Jeep or whatever, and Jerry jugged it himself just to keep the customer. I don't know. Some people want to take care of the driveway, some people don't. But I mean, that's service in my opinion. People don't do that. You don't know the company, shows up, on a weekend. So I guess everyone needs to do their part because the owner of the company is willing to do that for his customer. I think the customer should try to, if you have a hill for a driveway that a truck can't get. I think one woman told me, I can get my Land Rover up. Why can't you get your truck up? It's just like if you get questions, you just gotta kind of bite your tongue and explain to them what they should already know. So again, no snow on the ground today. So
Good.
That is
Good. All right. Well, we have the blood drive that I was talking about in Middleboro. The date of that will be February 16th, which is a Tuesday. The one in Halifax is on a Friday, February 19th. The one in Middleboro will be at the Church of Our Savior, 60 Union Street. And that will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you're able to give blood, please do so. Very important, especially during the pandemic. Very important. The Red Cross needs blood right now to help people who are in need. And very important. If you can, please help out with the blood drives in Middleboro and also in Halifax. 7:37. One more story to mention here before we take a break, and that is the holiday Lights for Hope. During the Christmas season in Middleboro, we hosted Melissa Odie Morrison hosted the Lights for Hope, the holiday Lights for Hope, and now the winners have been announced. And winners are as follows. First place goes to 244 Main Street. Second place goes to 53 Barden Hill. And third place goes to 12 Bryan Road. And there was also an honorable mention as well. 15 Highland Street as well. Similar to the Pumpkin Romp in October, all proceeds went to an organization that helps those in need with the fundraiser part of the event, bringing in $1,300 for the Wiley Network. The Wiley Network works with colleges across New England to improve graduation outcomes for students navigating their college careers independently. Additional information about this foundation can be found at thewileynetwork.org. It's TheWileynetwork.org. So that is some interesting things going on in Middleboro, and the holiday Lights for Hope. The winners have been announced for that. What are your thoughts on that, Don?
Yeah, it hasn't been announced, you said?
They have been.
Okay.
I just announced it.
All right.
Just announced them.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, you were talking about that recently, right?
Yes, I was talking about that when the event was announced.
Right.
In December.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's good that they're still doing that. I think it brings hope and morale to people during these difficult times. And there's something they could do for Christmas, right?
Yes, and Paul Lazarovich of Cranberry Country Journal had Melissa Odie Morrison as a guest on his show yesterday. So anyone who caught that was able to listen to what she had to say about the event as well.
He gets a lot of good people on his show. He's got a good time slot, 10 o'clock on Saturday. That's a lot of people listening in. I'm not saying our time slot's not. I mean, I think our time slot's more of a silent majority of people who just, they don't really call. People don't call in the morning.
Yeah.
As much. I mean, you get a couple calls, but I've known people who don't come out of the shell at 10 o'clock. They're just not talkative. They just don't have nothing to say. And just quiet. There's a lot of people out there that are like that. I know my brother's like that. Sure. Your Uncle Tom, he's like that. He doesn't really say too much. And then, by the time 11 o'clock, now you can't shut him up. There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of the early. That's why, as far as, I'm not saying everybody, but as far as talk shows, they tend to, as far as call participation, audience participation, seem to jive between like 9 on.
Yes, 9 on,
That's
yes.
why you don't see too many of them early in the morning. That's why there's news shows. I mean, I know there's some out there, and there's always been out there, and people will call. But the bigger the station, the more listeners. So you narrow that down to people who will call because they are talkative in the morning. We're talkative in the morning because we're on the show at 7 o'clock talking. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be a talk show host if you can't talk in the morning.
Yeah. All right. 7:42. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some commuter rail updates. There's some updates.
For the South Coast?
For the South Coast, which I don't know if it's really, what do you call it? Positive. Not a lot of the news has been positive out of that area, but
I did notice one thing.
We'll talk about that.
I did notice one thing. On the 44-24 bridge, what they're building there, heading east on 44, they took those Jersey barriers out. So they're out. They had a set of Jersey barriers over on the right-hand side. They're gone. They're removed, and now they're getting ready to. Looks like they're ready to clean the place up a little bit now. And then
that's good.
Now I think what they need is a stretch of good weather because it looks like they need to do one more series of paving, and then they got to line everything. And they've done such a wonderful job.
Yeah, they have
lining, doing the lines on the new construction roads. They're just so much. It's just like follow the leader. It's great. You cannot be confused. If you were confused about how they line things now, you shouldn't be driving. It is just so. It's just okay. It's so straightforward now, and I think they'll do a real. Once they get everything paved, that'll be obviously the last thing to do. And who knows? They might run some reflectors too, like they did on 44. I call that the reflector road because it's all reflectors.
The reflectors, that would be extremely a good thing for that stretch of road.
Well,
at night, that's
right.
It's tough.
They might do that. I don't know. It's a lidded. That area we're talking about, 24 and 44 is it's a lidded area. It's not 44 is dark road.
Yes, it is.
That's a really dark.
Extremely dark.
So I mean, that's
like it's scary dark.
Yeah, but you've driven dark, right?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Does reflectors make you feel a little better having them?
Absolutely, yes.
It's like a flashlight.
Yeah.
Here's your line. Please stay, right of it, please. And then if you go to the right a little bit, you got the rumble strip. So I mean, that's
what I like about streetlights. And I think there should be more of them in some areas.
No, you can't put streetlights on 44.
No, I'm not talking about 44 now. I'm talking about side roads and stuff.
Right.
Like Precinct Street.
No, you don't need them on
one or two of them. One or two more of them. Like there's like maybe one or two, maybe like one more or two more, and it'd be fine. It's dark. It's extremely dark.
That's why you have headlights, kid.
It's extremely dark on that road.
Yeah, but that's a rural road. That's a rural road in Middleboro. I mean, you don't need.
Well, that's just my my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. You can agree with it or disagree.
I don't
it's
agree
fine.
with it. okay?
It's fine. But it's just my thoughts on
Right,
on
but I mean, you don't
Christmas tree.
want to put too many up. You know, you don't want.
I'm not saying put like 7 up. I'm saying like maybe 1
For what?
to light up the road a little bit.
Well, that's what you got headlights for.
I know. I'm just saying it's dark.
I'm just being argumentative.
I know. I'm just saying it's dark on that road.
Well, take another road if you don't want to take that road at night. You can take 105, right?
Well, I'm so used to taking Precinct Street.
You don't go 105?
It's hard. Well, every once in a while I will. If
you know what?
During the winter.
There's less people on Precinct Street. So if you do have problems, you need to go for help. There's less houses. That's you gotta look at it that way. If you have to get out and, obviously you got a cell phone, you can call for help.
Yeah.
You need to go to any of the houses for any reason.
There's not many on Precinct
Not much
Street.
to choose from on Precinct. Just mostly swamp. No, I'm not sure there's any swamp there.
No,
it's
it's not really swamp. Wetland, maybe. Not swamp.
Yeah, there's some wet over near the power lines, I think, maybe.
Yeah,
but
not
I
swamp.
never went wide. It's really a nice. That's a nice stretch.
Wetland, yes. Swamp, no.
Ever since they paved it, though, remember before
It's been
they paved
nice.
it?
Yes,
No one went back.
I love Precinct Street now that it's
Nobody
paved.
went because it was such a tough shape that you wouldn't go. Only people who live there went. And maybe the people, I don't know. It's nice not having anyone come down your road, but then again, I don't know.
Right.
All right.
All right, so we got sidetracked a little bit. When we come back, we'll talk about the commuter rails. Commuter rail changes, and I don't know how positive it will be. But
Sunday morning argument about Precinct Street, right?
Well,
And streetlights. Yeah, hey.
Whatever.
Only on
Streetlights are important. Streetlights are important.
Yeah, to a point, Joey. To a point. I mean, you got
Whatever, it's fine.
You got a light. What's that?
Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just my thoughts.
Who's gonna pay for that light? All that extra wasted electricity for what?
I don't know.
Right?
All right, let's go to a break.
Light
Okay,
pollution.
let's go to yeah.
Who's gonna change the bulbs every time it breaks? You gonna crawl up and do that? Is that light?
I don't know.
So you can be comfortable driving down Precinct Street?
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Oh no! Oh, someone else is because something you want. Someone else has to figure it out.
Well, I don't live on Precinct Street, so I'm
Maybe
not
the
saying that
people
I don't
on-
want it.
Maybe the people on Precinct Street don't want the lights.
Maybe there's someone who does. I don't know. If you're on Precinct Street and want an extra light,
Yeah.
give us a call.
Give us a call. I'm sure most people don't want people driving down. People who live on Precinct Street don't want all that extra traffic on Precinct Street.
Yeah, Precinct Street. Sometimes there is a lot of traffic on Precinct
Well,
Street.
because they
Exactly.
They paved the road before.
Yeah.
No one would go that way. The road was just so terrible. It was like you had to go 15 miles an hour, or you'd ruin the front. You'd ruin your car. You'd
Yeah.
ruin the front end of your car. You'd have flat. Or,
And there's still some roads in Middleboro that you got to be careful on. There's one, I forget the name of it, but I think it was River Street or something.
River Street.
River Street, yeah. And that's a little bit.
That's
bad.
Wow.
That's a little bit bad.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure it will be paved. Sure, it's on the list to be paved. But until then, be careful on that road. That is a very, very dangerous road there.
Some people like
it's
it
not
that
really
way. Some people like
good
it
of a
that
route.
way because you don't get all that traffic. I mean, I feel if there's a road, it should be paved. The road was put in for a reason. It's just to alleviate traffic. That's my opinion. If you build a road, I don't think it's up to the people if they want to drive the speed limit. You should drive the
Yeah.
speed limit.
All right.
And
Well,
okay, you better take it.
we gotta take a break, okay? But yes, important to drive the speed limit on bad roads. That's what
On
we've been talking about.
rural roads.
On your, that's what you're talking about. And yes,
Well,
I agree with you.
Well, whatever.
I agree with you.
Well, no. What the thing
With
here
that.
is, you build a road for a reason, and then
Yeah.
you've got particular neighbors who don't want people coming down. Then they put up weight limit signs or trucks, this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
But I mean, it's just the roads were built for a reason.
All right, 7:49. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review. Comedy today. Comedy today. I don't really think we need an extra street light in Precinct Street, but
Good radio.
it's good radio.
No, my opinion is that because you live on a certain road doesn't give you right to tell everyone you can't drive down the road. The road was built probably before your house was built.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, I don't want people on my road. You know, I'm not going to pave it. Well, the road was built like back in the 1930s for a reason. You know, if you can't come down that road, that means everyone else is going down someone else's road.
Exactly.
And you can't, and that's not fair to those people.
No, of course not.
We want to remind everyone in Massachusetts.
Imagine going to Reynolds farmhouse there from our house, and you couldn't go Precinct Street. What do you have to do? You have to go all the way out 44 and around.
Which is annoying. Which is extremely annoying. Because it's right there. It's just right off of Precinct Street.
Right.
Which I'm glad
I think I went
they
down
paved.
Precinct Street once before they paved it. I was just like, I'm gonna have no undercarriage left. I'm gonna blow my tire up. My shock's gonna be shot just from that road. That road was so bad.
Yeah, it was bad. I was like terrified going down that road. It
And that's
was
a
that bad.
middleboro responsibility. The state doesn't, or the federal government doesn't.
It's Middleboro's responsibility to do it. Yeah, exactly.
Motorcycle Association is an association of
See, 105, they might get some help from the state. Because it's a state.
Yeah.
And then 44 is actually technically federal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they might get some money from the federal government to help out 44. That's why they did such a great job on it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about widening it out the window and the whole idea of the rotary when they fixed it.
members from nearly all 50 states
That, you know, now there's never going to be a flyover over there.
No, well, yeah. Of course not. Of course not. Now that they fixed it, to an extent.
When the casino was going to come, yeah, maybe it would work.
But the casino is not going to come. It's going to come to East. It's going to come to Taunton instead of.
I don't even think it's going to come anyway.
I don't know. It's. They're talking about it, but I'm not 100% sure what will happen there. It has more of a chance coming to Taunton than it does Middleboro. It has a 0% chance coming to Middleboro, so.
Serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency.
Alright, 7:53. We have
furniture vouchers.
the one more topic for the day, and then we have the Today in Histories, which aren't many. I don't have many here.
Middleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
Alright. To this. Alright. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. We got about 6 minutes left on the program, and let's talk a little bit about commuter rail. Commuter rail is very important to the area, and there'll be some new schedules that are going to be taking effect 2 weeks from yesterday. So January 23rd, it will be coming up. January the 23rd. There will be a change to the South Shore weekend trains. Most of them will be axed. New commuter rail winter schedules will cut most South Shore weekend service starting on January the 23rd. The schedules incorporate some of MBTA's COVID-19 related cuts. The T said these schedules will provide generally more service than the agency is running now, but only about 50% of the service it offered last year to deal with now low ridership and budget concerns after fare revenues dropped. The T said it's seeing about 10% of its usual ridership on the commuter rail, with approximately 8% of regular weekday ridership during the morning rush. Those are not great numbers, 8%. During the fall of 2020 compared to the fall of 2019. For the South Shore, weekend service will end on the Greenbush, Plymouth, and Kingston lines under the new schedule, but will continue at a reduced clip on the Middleboro-Lakeville line. So, not great news there. The schedules will be available online on January 15th at mbta.com.
Well, I think Gotcha's still runs their bus through from Situate to Duxbury or Kingston. So, and as far as the Red Line, the bus services run down to Hingham, and I know there's one that runs to Hull, so that helps a couple stations on the Greenbush line. And as far as the Plymouth, Abington, Whitman, there's not much there. So, I mean, no one's riding the train.
Not great news.
No one's riding why run the trains if no one's riding them? It's just a waste of trains. It's just, you're running all that gear, you're blowing through the brakes and all that maintenance. I think they should just axe them, period, on the weekends and just run buses. I don't know, run a bus instead of even during the week, run a couple run some two. I don't know. I think they should just axe them all together and just run buses and save the equipment.
There's a lot of bus lines that they can incorporate into the weekend.
I mean, if you got 8 people per train, they got 8 coaches. It's just a waste of everything. Waste of fuel, waste of everything.
Because no one's riding.
No one's riding. I go through there in the middle of the afternoon in Nantasket Junction or Hingham, and there's like 5 cars in the parking lot. Not saying only 5 people rode because people get dropped off. I understand that. But, it's park them. Call it a day. Until we get this COVID-19 things under control, more people can ride the trains. I think it's a waste. I think just run some buses.
All right, well, we'll have some more updates about this in the future. But let's do Today in History. 7:58 here. 1870, John D. Rockefeller incorporates Standard Oil. John D. Rockefeller, the big-time oil guy in America. 1901, the first great Texas oil gusher is discovered at Spindletop in Beaumont, Texas. So 2 very important today in histories in the oil industry, the oil side of things. We have 4 birthdays. 1930, Roy E. Disney. He's an American businessman, part of Disney. 1944, Frank Sinatra Jr., the son of Frank Sinatra, who passed away about 4 years ago, in 2016. 1945, Rod Stewart, British singer-songwriter, very, very popular. He's still doing music today. He just put out an album last year, I think it was. So he is still making music. And pretty good music as well. The last album was really good. He's still making some really good music. 1946, Ainsley Dunbar. Ainsley Dunbar, legendary drummer. He's done so many things. He's been in so many bands. He was in his own band called the Ainsley Dunbar Retaliation. Some other bands he was in here. The Jeff Beck Group. He worked with David Bowie, Frank Zappa, UFO, Whitesnake. He was on, I believe, the 1987 album. I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't have time to look. Definitely check out Ainsley Dunbar. He's got so many other people here. Journey,
Yep.
Journey, Jefferson Starship.
Yep.
He worked with Lou Reed, Sammy Hagar, Michael Schenker, Jakey Lee. It goes on. It goes on. Legend. Absolute legend.
Georgie Powell's like that too. He played with everybody.
74 today. Actually, 75. 75. That's wrong. That's actually 75 today. So, happy birthday to Ainsley Dunbar. Legendary drummer. One of the best. One of the best. But after Bill Ward and Neil Peart. No, Ainsley Dunbar. Great drummer. Check out some of his work. All right, 8 a.m. here, and coming up after the news, we have Bread of Life. Today's program is Thank God I'm Clothed in My Right Mind. So that's coming up here after the news. So everyone enjoy your Sunday and your week, and we'll be right back on the 17th with another Middleboro in Review. Bye-bye, everybody. All right, good stuff.
John Mayo and the Blues Breakers, 1960s to 71.
He's worked with everyone.
With Eddie Boyd, Michael Chipman, the Ainsley Dunbar Retaliation, with Blue White, Blue Whale, Zappa, and the Mothers.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of Zappas.
Worked with Whitesnake on the 87 album.
Sugar Lotus,
I think.
Flow in 80 with David Bowie, 1973, with Lou Reed, 73. Man with David Barry.
USA Radio News with Lance
Laughlin.
The foreign ministers of Australia, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada.
All right, well, everybody, have a great week, and we will talk to you next week. We'll have a lot of interesting things. We'll continue to talk about the blood drives that are going on. Every once in a while, every other week, we'll mention the dog licenses as well. That's coming up until the end of March. So every once in a while, we'll mention it to people as well. So we have a lot of things going on. Also, the construction in Middleboro, the bank building, is going ahead as well at a pretty fast pace. A good portion of the building is up. The skeleton of the building is up. So we'll mention that next week as well. Yeah. Have a great week, everybody, and see you next Sunday.